Hey everyone, I have a confession to make. I have been living with the illusion of progress for way too long, and it's time to do something about it. Way past time. If you've accumulated too much stuff over the years, you are not alone. Today I'm taking you guys inside my room of shameful procrastination. So let's head in here and let me confess what I've been putting off way too long. Getting myself to Kansas means I'm facing a potential cross country move in the coming months. So in March, I did a bunch of proactive purging, including the attic, and now it's all stacked up in here and here. Consequently, I have 2 rooms I can't use and a closet I can't access. But needless to say, this all just seemed like such a huge hassle after I'd piled so much up here. I just kept avoiding it. I had planned to have a garage sale, you guys. So while I purged, I just kept stacking things up instead of taking them to Goodwill like I normally would. But then life and the summer heat got in the way. Looking at all these piles for 4 months is giving me stress on several levels. So I've come up with a strategy for clearing the clutter and taking my rooms back while preparing for a move across the country that doesn't have a firm date yet, but it's coming. If you've stalled out on a big project like I have, hopefully today's video will give you some inspiration to make progress too. If you're over 40 and haven't moved in quite a while, you understand how easy it is to acquire too much stuff over the years. Now I'm in a new season and it's time for a life reset. So here's my game plan for tackling these mountains of too much stuff. First, the mental adjustment. I am not doing a mammoth marathon purge and clean in one day. I'm doing a tactical reclaim, code name the Dorothy Project. Second, I've set a realistic deadline for completion. I want to have this room clear out by the end of August and turned into a home gym. My third strategy is I'm going to break this project into 15-minute pile bites and work at 1 or 2 of those every single day until it's done. And fourth, I'm going at this with forethought so I don't waste effort. There are specific categories here: piles that need sorting and decisions made, the Goodwill donations mountain, formerly known as the garage sale pile, and many items I'm hoping to sell on Facebook Marketplace, and piles of things I know I want to keep. This pile here is a combination of Christmas and fall decor that I used last year, and it has been blocking my access to my summer wardrobe, and I am fed up with it. So, this pile will be my first 15-minute project today because I want to get all of this right here moved into this closet so that I can make some room to maneuver in the other room. And that means I need to pull a few of these items that are on the floor here. And I also want to pull out all of my purses because I want to purge some of those. And then I will pull that pile in here and store it in the closet. But as I'm pulling it, because I have procrastinated till August, I am going to pull out all of the fall stuff and just set it in the living room and decorate early, because why stuff it in the closet only to turn around and pull it back out in 2 or 3 weeks, right? So I'm going to get started. I bought this timer for my Dorothy project because I film with my phone. So we'll see how long 15 minutes goes. A lot of boomers and Gen Xers like me grew up in households where having extra anything was a foreign concept. We were raised by parents who grew up in the post Depression era, and we basically lived in minimalist mode when minimalism wasn't trendy. And consequently, when I finally got a place of my own, I couldn't wait to have my house full and cozy and full of options. But I didn't realize as the years went by, all those options would turn into dead weight. Live and learn. If you've been following my channel for a while, thank you. And that means you're probably aware my daughters moved to Kansas City 3 years ago. I can't believe it's been that long already, you guys. In case you're new here, all of my family lives in Kansas City now, as well as the girl's dad and his family, so I totally understood why they wanted to do a cross-country move after they graduated from college. And even though my heart broke saying goodbye, I knew the smartest thing for me to do at the time was to stay in Florida until I could get my financial ducks in a row. I had drained my savings helping the twins finish college. I had a car to pay off. I had some major dental work that needed doing. And my company's business was booming back in 2023. Plus, I've been renting this house we've been in since 2020, well below market price from a friend, all of which made staying here the financially responsible choice at the time. Then flash forward to last summer, 2025, and woohoo! I'd managed to pay off the car and rebuild my savings. Praise the Lord. So why haven't I moved yet? Well, my heart is definitely in Kansas, but my head is still in Florida, at least financially, and for good reason. At my age, the dream move isn't a dream if it leaves you financially vulnerable. Because the housing market has gone crazy since 2023, especially in Kansas City. It will cost me double to rent a house there compared to what I'm paying here. And we all know what's been happening to the job market. People in their 30s and 40s are struggling to find work. All right, I've got my closet cleaned out on one side. I decided to just leave the purses up there and purge those another day. I've got enough junk in here already. But now I'm going to put the Christmas stuff in here. And I have spent 19 minutes so far. Of course, a lot of that was shuffling things around. Society tells us that by the time we're 60, we should have it all figured out. We should be settled in a paid off house with $1 million in the bank, and we certainly shouldn't have a room of shameful procrastination. But life throws curveballs. Totaled cars and divorce happens. The economy goes up in flames and the housing market goes crazy. If you're starting a new chapter later in life, I want you to know you aren't alone. I was beating myself up for letting these rooms get this bad, but the truth is, clutter is just delayed decisions. And when we're stressed or uncertain what path to take, it's hard to find the mental energy to make decisions or take action. So if your house is overstuffed or messy right now, if you've got some financial things to get through and figure out, please give yourself grace. Then go ahead and make a plan of action and consider taking it all just 15 minutes at a time. And luckily, there is a huge Goodwill building just a half a block from my office. So the plan is every weeknight, I'll be loading up 2 or 3 boxes in the back of my car and taking them to work with me, dropping them off before I head into the office. So I'm doubly glad to have my job. I'm 60 now, which makes me too young to retire and too old to easily land a job that will pay the bill. So I'm not sure how long it will take me to find a decent job after I move. And of course, there's always Murphy's Law, right? In March, after I'd finished paying off my car last summer and rebuilt my savings, I got into a car accident. And even though it wasn't my fault, I had to spend $12,000 out of my savings to replace that car, in addition to the Blue Book value that Geico stuck me with. So that was a big blow, a big setback. And now I had to get the new car and rebuild the savings. So, yeah, a lot of reasons why I've put off moving. But sometimes it feels like the universe spins us towards our destinies, whether we're ready or not, right? And even though I love my job and everyone I've worked with for the past 18 years, things have really slowed down at the office. Like a lot of people's companies, this weird economy. So I'm not sure how much longer I'll stay on salary. So that's another shoe waiting to drop. And in addition to that, my landlord told me literally a week after I got in the car accident in March that unfortunately his sister's husband's health has really gone downhill, and they don't expect he'll make it much longer. And once he passes, he may need to move her in this house to help her financially, because God bless him, he is an angel. But family over friends, right? Completely understandable. So this is why I say I have got to get very proactively ready to move to Kansas City, where I want to be anyway, whether I have a hard time finding a job or not. If either shoe drops, job or house, I'm out of here. And I want to be ready. It's easy to feel paralyzed by these what ifs, but I've decided to take a calculated stand and start taking action, because me, that's what I do when things feel uncertain. Take action. So it's time. I'm paring down my house, pantry, and freezer because I don't want to spend thousands of dollars moving stuff I'm not even using, or things that can't easily make the trip, like frozen food. This tactical reclaim is going to save me a ton of money and stress down the road. And although I'm planning on staying in Florida for now for financial reasons, this life reset really is about gaining the mobility and peace of mind I need so that I can easily make that move when the time comes to head west. And that includes getting quotes from movers, as well as all the other things that go into strategically being ready to pull the trigger. Thanks for being here today. And be sure and stop back next week to see if I actually manage to sell anything on Facebook Marketplace and how many boxes I get carted off to the Goodwill. And if you'd like to see how I've been eating down my freezer and pantry to prepare for the move, click this video right here to watch that next, and I'll see you over there.